Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we are going to go through some trade packages and landing spots for Dallas Mavericks guard Dennis Smith Jr., who is now officially being heavily shopped by the Dallas Mavericks. So really the big reason that this is happening is apparently he's not a very good fit alongside Luka Doncic. I mean, it's clearly going to be Luka's team now going into the future. Both Dennis Smith Jr., I thought he was a pretty decent rookie last season. I think his numbers are down a little bit right now, which is probably a big reason why he's being shopped. But yeah, I mean, rookie year, he was a 15 point per game scorer. He got a few assists, a few rebounds out there. Definitely looked like just what you want with your point guard in this era of the NBA. Now, I will say his three-point shot, a little streaky, but I mean, he's only in his second year, so I think that's something he's definitely going to figure out. He can still knock him down. It's just, I think he's around 33%. You definitely want to get that to the mid-30s, maybe the higher 30s. So yeah, let's see what type of trades that Sean Hyken came up with right here and see if we can actually agree or disagree with them out there, man. So here we go. First one we have is with the Orlando Magic, and this is going to be the Dallas Mavericks receive Aaron Gordon. The Magic receive Dennis Smith Jr. and Wesley Matthews. I actually really do like this trade for both teams. Now, I don't know, man. I mean, Aaron Gordon, I think is fantastic. I mean, he's an athletic four out there. He can run the court. It would be amazing watching him and Luka Doncic work together. Just like the potential of these guys hooking up on alley-oops. I mean, come on, man. They have him freaking 5 times a game. He can space the floor, of course. Now, if this were to happen, my guess is that Luka would probably, I don't know, man. I don't know if they want to go the direction of actually run Luka at the point guard position or if he's going to have to play, shooting guard. Because you got to keep in mind, as of right now, I believe Harrison Barnes is playing the 4 spot, which Aaron Gordon is a 4. I don't like Aaron Gordon at the 3. The Magic tried that before. It did not quite work out. So, I'm thinking the lineup will be, point guard, whoever that's going to be. That's the thing, man. It's I feel like for this trade to happen, they also need to get back DJ Augustine, because with JJ Barea going down, this team will not have a point guard. That's just not something you can. You just can't do that, man. I don't care how good Luka Doncic is. Look at Devin Booker. Suns do not have a point guard, and they got a really good player in Devin Booker. But I mean, it's not really leading to wins because of that. So I think they definitely got to get at least something back as far as the point guard. Jalen Brunson's definitely not ready to be the guy. Again, JJ Barea is down with injury, but you're probably looking at, point guard, Luka Doncic, Harrison Barnes, Aaron Gordon, and DeAndre Jordan. And that would be a fun team to watch. It'd be definitely a lot of dunks going down and stuff like that. But, yeah, not bad. And then, of course, the Magic, they finally get their point guard of the future, who's only in his second year. Wesley Matthews is a very underrated player, guys. I think he's around a 15 point per game score or something like that. I mean, depending if he starts or not, those numbers will probably go down. But, I like the trade for both sides of things. It's just the Mavericks would need to look heavily into getting a replacement point guard. I'm not quite sure who they would be able to do. Okay, next up we have the Phoenix Suns, of course, the team that needs a point guard. Dallas Mavericks receive TJ Warren and Josh Jackson. Phoenix Suns receive Dennis Smith Jr. and Wesley Matthews. Okay, so this would, of course, give the Dallas Mavericks a bit more depth on their team. Once again, you are probably looking at Luka at the 2 spot with TJ Warren going to the 3 spot. So TJ Warren, he can score you 18 points a game. He's a very solid player. He's only 25. I believe he has a pretty friendly contract out there. So not a bad player. Then, of course, you get a nice prospect in Josh Jackson, whose rookie season was decent. This year, he's kind of fallen out of the rotation with the Phoenix Suns. Or if he does play, doesn't really do much out there. So, yeah, 2 young players for the Dallas Mavericks to help kind of groom into their future, while the Phoenix Suns finally get their point guard, Dennis Smith. Because I will say, I do like the idea of Dennis Smith and Devin Booker in the backcourt. Plus, you add in DeAndre Ayton, and that team's looking pretty solid. They got Mikal Bridges, so he can probably play the 3 spot. Then you look for some sort of stretch big out there for the 4 spot, and all of a sudden you're pretty good to go. So, good trade for them too, man. Okay, next we got the New York Knicks. Okay, so we're looking at, interesting trade. Frank Ntilikina, Tim Hardaway Jr. for Dennis Smith Jr. and Wesley Matthews. So they're really looking to unload Wesley Matthews in here also. I guess I'm trying to think, because Tim Hardaway, Luka Doncic, okay, that's obviously going to be what's going to win you games as of right now. I mean, Tim Hardaway's having his best season. Field goal percentage is pretty low, so he's a little streaky. He needs the ball in his hands to score, which is the big reason why Dennis Smith is not a good fit alongside him. But getting Frank Ntilikina, the potential of that could be nice, because, it's not a good trade, actually, man. Because I'm thinking about the New York Knicks last season, and at times they tried to play Frank in the backcourt with Trey Burke and had him play off ball, and it just wasn't really working out for him. Frank Ntilikina is best with the ball in his hands, but that's the whole point of getting rid of Dennis Smith Jr. is because you want to get a point guard out there that can kind of be like that Mario Chalmers of the team, what he was for LeBron James, where his job was not to handle the basketball, but just to score the basketball. I don't know. I always go to Mario Chalmers for that example. It just always feels like a good one. So I don't like this trade. I think Tim Hardaway needs the ball too much. I think he takes too many shots. And Frank Ntilikina, while the potential is still there, it's just not worth it. This trade's not worth it. It's complete garbage. Now, from the Knicks side of things, like, yeah, you get Dennis Smith, but at the same time, this is a team that I believe is trying to go for Kyrie Irving, so not quite sure if they want to do all that. Next up, we have the Chicago Bulls. So we got Chris... Ooh. You know what, man? This trade I do like. Chris Dunn, Jabari Parker for Dennis Smith Jr. and Wesley Matthews. So it really comes down to... I know Bulls fans love Chris Dunn. I don't blame you. He's been great. I think he's averaging like 15 points, like 4 or 5 assists, 4 or 5 rebounds, something along those lines. He is a tad bit older than Dennis Smith, so I feel like Dennis Smith could still, put up those numbers. But I think Chris Dunn is kind of more groomed as of right now, where it's like he's going to put up those numbers more consistently, with Dennis Smith, I think, having the higher ceiling overall. So, Dallas Mavericks kind of get like a sort of like win. I don't want to say a win now player, because I don't know if Chris Dunn's quite there yet. But I mean, they get more of a groomed, polished player in Chris Dunn to put alongside Luka. Plus, you get Jabari Parker, who, I'm sorry, man, he was averaging like 20 points a game for a bit on the Chicago Bulls. Fell out of the rotation, I guess it did not work out for them. But Jabari alongside DeAndre Jordan, that is a fantastic fit, because DeAndre is known for his defense, while Jabari is known for offense. So that'd be a nice little 1-2 punch as far as that goes in the front court. And of course, adding Chris Dunn and having Luka Doncic on there, I do like that move a lot. Jabari Parker's also got a very friendly contract. He's got a 1-year, $20 million team option, which means that if he doesn't work out, okay, you got an extra $20 million freed up in cap space going into a loaded free agent class. So I think this is a good trade for both teams. Getting rid of Jabari Parker. Plus Wesley Matthews, like I was saying, he's a good 2-guard. So that adds another great player to the Chicago Bulls struggling roster. It's just a matter if Bulls, would rather have Dennis Smith or Chris Dunn. I have a feeling they're going to say Chris Dunn. Bulls fans are going to say that. But I think if this trade ended up happening, they would treat Dennis Smith Jr. like a god. And then finally, we have the Memphis Grizzlies. Well, it looks like it's probably Mike Conley. And we got Dallas Mavericks receive Mike Conley. The Memphis Grizzlies receive Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews, and JJ Barea. Okay, I think this is a little bit too one-sided right here. We got to keep in mind that Mike Conley does have like 3 years, like $90 million left on his contract. Yes, he is having probably his best season of his entire career, at least statistic-wise. It gives them a nice 31-year-old point guard that knows how to win basketball games. I think he wouldn't have any issues playing off of Luka Doncic or handle the basketball at times. I love Mike Conley, like 20-point, 6-assist guy, can play some defense. It's just, Dennis Smith, he's an extremely young player. That gives the Memphis Grizzlies a nice rebuild piece with him and Jaren Jackson. I feel like if you want to toss some Wesley Matthews, okay, that's fine. I don't think it's absolutely needed. And then JJ Barea, he's injured now, so that's not going to happen. But, this would leave the Dallas Mavericks with Mike Conley. I'm going to say they don't toss him Wesley Matthews. That's just too much to give up. So I'm going to say Mike Conley, Wesley Matthews, Luka, Harrison Barnes, DeAndre Jordan. I love that team. That's probably a 7th or 8th seed in the Western Conference, in my opinion, if Luka, doesn't regress at all or anything like that. But overall, man, it's some pretty good trades on here. As far as teams I would like to see him go to, I think a lot of these, I think the Memphis Grizzlies makes complete sense. It saves money, and they replace Mike Conley, a great point guard, with another point guard that is going to potentially be that Mike Conley type of player, just a guy that puts up the sound numbers but might get overlooked as far as all-star team games go. With him and Jaren Jackson, I love the idea of that. So, yeah, of course, I'll take one of my Detroit Pistons if he's available, but, all we have to give is Reggie Jackson. I'm pretty sure nobody wants Reggie Jackson. So, yeah, guys, give me your thoughts on these trades in the comment section below. Hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.